Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be showing you an overview and review of My Lil Everdell. So this is a great game to introduce to younger children to get them used to the mechanics of games like Everdell. And so you will need to guide them and help them depending on their age. But I know when we've always played games with Quentin, and we would have loved to have this game when he was younger. Because we played games that were we were always looking for unique games that were fun for us and him. Because, you know, a lot of kids' games back in the day, they were just too kiddie. So they weren't really fun for the adult. But we found a lot of games through the years that were good for both to enjoy, and this would have definitely been one of them.
A lot of trial and errors. We would buy probably like 5 to 10 board games like a year, and there was a lot of bad ones, but there was
we found a lot of good
ones too.
Yeah, so this would have been great to have and to introduce him to these type of mechanics when he was younger. So it does have some cards for if you're depending on the age of the child you're playing with. It has some cards that you can give them to help get them a head start, called the Fort and the Captain. And basically, you could see the little goodies in the bottom. It allows them to be able to collect those additional resources during the gather goodies phase, and they start out with 3 goodies from the start: a berry, twig, and the resin. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's resin.
Yeah. So that gives them a head start, so they're able to get obtain cards that will get them the parade cards, and I'll go over that in a minute. So that's an optional rule that you can add depending on the age of the children you're playing with. So I'll just go over the setup really quickly. You build these cute little crates which hold your resources, and you place them on the marked spaces on the board for the berries, twigs, and resin. And then you put your points token in this one above the board. As you notice, there's more coins that would fit in that, so we have our game trays holding the additional. You put the moon. This is basically your round tracker, so you're going to be moving this. It's played over 4 rounds. At the end of each round, you'll be moving that moon tracker. And you're going to give the sun token to the youngest player or whoever you want to go first. Each player gets a home board and 3 critters of their choice, or whatever you call them, animals. There's butterflies, foxes, lizards, and mice. So this is the butterflies, and he has the lizards. So each person has 3 characters that they're going to be placing as a worker placement on the board to do certain actions. For instance, these with multiple paw prints in the circles or ovals, you can see those there. Any amount of animals can be in those. There's no limit. Whereas these have only 1 paw print, only 1 animal can be on there during the round. So those are the highly sought after spots, obviously. And what these do for you, you roll the dice at the beginning of each round, whoever the active player is, you place them here, and whatever is showing on the dice is the resource that you can get. There's one that has, it looks like a little basket.
Yeah, that's the wild.
Let me find that. Oh, right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a little basket showing all the resources. You could choose any 1 resource, and that one's a good one because it's got 2 of those, so you could choose any 2 resources as your reward for going there on that spot. So it's kind of limited on the worker placement spots you can go. As you can see, there's only, in a 2-player game, you have 1 dice per player. So in a 4-player game, you would have all 4 dice. So in a 2-player game, you would have 5 different spots to choose from. So mainly you're going to be going on these a lot, because until you get some cards, they are cards, as you can see, that have paw prints on them. Once you get those in your tableau, then you could also put your character on there to do that action. You cannot play on another player's animal card in their tableau. Only the person whose tableau it is can put their characters on that one. So the setup is you're going to put your 2, however many dice they are, players, roll them and put them down on the spots. You're going to place your parade tiles 6, 5, 4, 3, highest number on top. The first person to get the parade card gets the highest points. Next person will get 5 points. These are for in-game points. And you obtain these, I'm going to remember here. This one is for getting 5 places cards in your tableau. The places are represented by the little house. So when you have 5 of those in your tableau area, you can get that top, whatever the top parade card is. This next one is for getting 5 critters. When you get the little 5 of those little critter cards, little mice in the corner, you can get that top parade card. This one is for having at least one of each colored symbol. And that is showing, here's the 5 right here. There's 5 symbols, 5 different colors on the cards. There's green, blue, tan, red, and purple. If you have at least one of each of those, you can get this parade. The last one here is to have 3 of the same color, not including green. Green does not count. Doesn't mean you can't have green. Like if you had 3 blue, 3 green, 3 blue, 3 red, 3 tan, 3 purple, any of those, 3 of a kind, you would get the top available parade in that one. So you're going to also be putting 8 of the main deck cards down here. That's the market. And you put the remaining deck there. This is what's available so your turn goes as this. Basically, the active player rolls a dice. Then everyone gathers their goodies. So whatever cards you have in your tableau, whatever the goodies are on the bottom, you get to gather those. Some of them are not always goodies. So the green cards they activate as soon as you play them, and then they activate at the beginning of each new round. So if you got this green card, you would get it right away, that goodie, and then during the gather goodies phase, you would get 1 resin every round. The blue cards activate after playing a certain card type by earning a parade, or let you play a certain card for cheaper. So those are actions that happen when other things happen. The tan cards activate only 1 time as soon as you play them, and they don't activate again. So that's a one and done, get that reward. The red cards activate when you place a friend on them, and that's the one where the player themselves can only play on that card, not your opponents cannot play. The purples only activate after the game is ended, so those are in-game points. So those are good to help you really boost your score at the end of the game. So you're going to have, that is the setup. So then you're going to be, your turns of play are gather goodies. Oh, after you roll the dice, everyone's going to gather their goodies. Then whoever has the sun token goes first. They place a worker and gather whatever resource. Then they can see if they can purchase any of the market cards, and the cost is in the very top of that card. So and they're all pretty affordable. You can pretty much get a card every time. If you plan ahead, look at what one of the cards and see, because you're going to at least get a few resources, at least 3 resources, because you have 3 characters. So you just kind of look and see what you need, and you plan accordingly when you're placing your animals. So then you're going to purchase a card and put it in your tableau, and you are going to want to put your place cards together and your critter cards together just to help you see when you've obtained that requirement to get those parades. It just makes it a lot easier. And then you return home after everyone's played. You take turns, one at a time, playing one critter, then the next player. Then you bring all your animals back home, and then you move the moon token, and then the sun token goes to the next player. So it's played over 4 rounds. It's very easy to teach, very easy to learn, especially if you've played Everdell. You would get this in a heartbeat. It's basically a scaled down Everdell, because Everdell, there's a lot more you can do. There's a lot more going on. But of course, this is to introduce younger children to this game, and it's a great game for families. This would be we would have loved to have this game, like I already said. So that's basically the overview, and you just at the end of the game, you tally your points. Your point cards are in the upper right, and then you also add your you tally what your in-game points would be as well. You got to add those up. One, like that one's 1 for each parade you have. So it would be more than 3 points. You get 3 plus 1 coin. You get 1 coin for each parade. So basically you're just gathering coins for this to help you keep, that's the best way to keep that tally. So we're going to do a quick review of this and tell you what we thought about it. We played it with Quentin, and we all really enjoyed it. He hasn't played the regular Everdell yet. We did a playthrough of that one, and we know he will love that game. We just haven't had time to play it with him, but he's very eager to play Everdell after playing this one, because we told him how there's way more you can do in that one, and he loves these type of games, so he'll really enjoy that.
So what are some of the highlights you enjoyed about the game? Like,
I like it that the components are extremely nice.
Yeah, which it fits with the Everdell.
Very nice components.
Illustrations.
Right.
Off the roof.
So this, especially for a children's game, I noticed children's games lately are went up a level.
Yeah, they've evolved.
Big time. Because we've gotten quite a few that we would have loved to have when Quentin was younger. So the components are amazing. I like that it also has a solo version. When I was a kid, I was an only child till I was a teenager. My sister was born when I was 12, so I was basically an only child. So I loved playing board games. My parents are busy. They don't want to play games all the time. And so I would play games solo, like Monopoly and things, and just play more than one player. I would have loved to have games back then that had solo versions, especially games like this. I would have had a blast. And so I like it that there's a solo version for the only children out there that sometimes don't have someone they can play with, or for even adults maybe would want to play this game solo. I like it that they have alternative for younger kids, which makes it easier for them to get a head start, so they don't feel like they feel like they're already not winning, but like they don't feel like they're disadvantaged, because as adults we're going to kind of know more of the strategies where it balances it out more. I like that. I just think it just plays very well, and it's not too long. It's only 4 rounds, so it's quick enough to where it won't lose the younger children's attention, I feel. So,
what's your overall total?
Oh, I would give this a 9. For a kid game, this is definitely a 9 for me. I think it's an excellent game.
So for me, I love the illustration. I'm a sucker for illustration. This is one of the most beautiful illustrations. That's why we are drawn to also the original Everdell. Also, the component quality is one of the best. I like how they always do the little baskets and different things in their games. I also like the items that they use, like the little soft, and then also the wood pieces and the gems. That seems to be a trend. Their dice have different icons, and it's not your standard dice. Their little meeples are really well designed, and you can tell what they represent. And just everything about the game flows very smoothly. There's no hiccup, or there's no question about rules. The rule book does a very good job at showing step by step. Also, if you play Everdell, this is going to be like second nature. But just a phenomenal game. Like she said, we used to play so many games with him. Each year, we would buy mini games for Quentin, and it was kind of hard to get games that really the mechanics weren't the same, because we tried to get different games with different mechanics to challenge him. and challenge him. But we noticed that games have evolved, and this is one great evolution of that, kids are going to be able to play. So for me, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think that this is one of the best kid games. I think I'm guessing they'll probably come out with expansions just like they did with the original Everdell. And this is going to be a great stepping stone for kids to learn a lot of the mechanics that a lot more modern board games have, as opposed to like the old Monopoly and different games that really didn't show that much mechanics. This actually shows many different types of mechanics: point salad,
worker placement,
set collection, pattern building, just so many different things, economics, so just great representation of the original Everdell. Is there anything else you want to say?
Can't think of anything. I would highly recommend this game. If you have younger children and you want to introduce them to games, or if they already love games, definitely this is a great game. Yeah,
this is one of the best children's games, and we will be doing a top 10 where we discussed children's game, and so we're just going to come up with this. Garrett, this is actually our inspiration that made us think of doing a top 10 children's games.
Right, games that we discovered through the years as Quentin grew up, that we, like little hidden gems that we found.
Oh, yeah.
That we played over and over, and I enjoyed them, he enjoyed them. Quentin and I played games a lot together. It was mostly he and I played games a lot together, and we just... It was games that we truly both enjoyed playing. And there was a few games that the three of us would all play, and we were always had a blast. Yeah. We had a blast playing them. So, look for that video coming up, because we thought this, like you said, this game inspired that. We were like, wow, we've had a lot of cool games that maybe people don't know about.
Yeah.
That we had to buy a lot of games to discover.
A lot.
Yeah.
So... if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Social media is down below in the description. We will have a link where to buy the game. And thank you. We'll see you next video.